Yeah, because like you said, I mean, I'm going to reiterate it again. If you don't burst down Mumu on that Callista, then he's just going to dance all around your team and you're never going to be able to catch him once again. So it's going to be all about that wombo combo, that shockwave combo coming out from Monash in the mid game. But currently, we're only in the early game, we're only 25 seconds in, so we're going to see both teams moving in. And in the first match, we saw a very defensive, very safe play coming up from both teams, and it looks like the same thing is going to happen here. Just getting vision on all the entrances to your jungle and to make sure that there aren't going to be any shenanigans going on at level 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Not too much that's not standard right now. It will be interesting to see if Kenny G decides to jungle a lot or actually apply a little bit of farm pressure. As actually Kenny gets caught up, but that surely should just be a little bit of a walkout and vision advantage for VGN coming out.
Interesting to note is that Robo Santa's picked up a longsword in the top lane. Hasn't gone for any of the, big early game items like a Doran's item or even Crystalline Flask, like Cute Nectarine's gone ahead and taken. It seems to suggest he is looking for a bit of the late game, but also a lot more harass, which is going to be difficult against a Hecarim who's got Crystalline Flask, 3 health potions. He's going to clear a camp at the same time, go back, teleport to lane, and he's going to have even more potions. So the sustain's going to be very hard to beat with that longsword. So I feel like in item select, Cute Nectarine's actually won out there.
You're right, and I'm actually finding this quite strange how he has 3 health potions. The standard Hecarim start for when Sion decides to, a little bit of annoying pings coming out, but when Hecarim decides to start in the jungle, they actually start without any health potions, and the reason why they do that is because Crystalline Flask can sustain them for the first camp, and when they go back, they'll have enough money for a cloth. So I'm just wondering what his first back will be before he teleports off.
Like I said, it's probably going to be potions, but there's the option to go ahead and grab a ward as well, and we did say how important that early lane presence from Katha coming up into the top lane could be, so maybe looking to go for a bit of safety, but looks like he's picked up a few potions, so he's... Oh, there he goes. 2 potions and a pink ward, so a lot of lane safety there. It's going to be very hard, in any case, for Robo Santa to bully him out. And you can already see with the level advantage, he's got the gap closer to catch up to Robo Santa.
Yep, that's exactly what I was saying. Get the early level 2, and Na can't really do anything against you. He can throw, and then he can throw out his boomerang, but that's pretty much it. So you're going to have the lane pressure from here on in, unless you get ganked.
And well, there's a little bit of trading going on down in the bottom lane. There's no real kill potential so far, especially with a Callista who really needs to get extended fights to make use of that Ren to really pump out the damage. And that's not going to happen down in the bottom lane, at least anytime soon. I mean, even minion damage can dissuade you from trying to go for too long of a fight. So while there's not going to be too much kill potential, there is going to be trading going on. However, I think both teams, they've got the shields, so there's not going to be too much zoning going on, at least for now.
Absolutely. And early on, minions just do so much damage, so unless you're fighting without a huge wave there, you're going to be in a bit of trouble if you decide to trade.
Now we can see that Kenny G, he's actually recalled already, picked up that Rangers Trailblazer, so he's gone ahead and recalled earlier than Katha has, and that's a little bit interesting because Sejuani's a jungler who drops pretty low in the first clear, and so he's actually gone ahead and rushed to level 4, so not looking for any early ganks. Understands that Kenny G is going to have the advantage of ganking early on, especially if counter ganks come onto the table, so he's just sitting back, making sure he's going to be able to farm up to that level 6, where the impacts are really going to come out. So, and I feel like it's a little bit late to pay attention to the top lane, so bottom lane, once level 6 rolls around, will be the place to go, because you've got that Lantern to come in, and if you can catch Jinx without any escapes with the Glacier Prison, then that should be a free kill, even with Flash.
Yeah, exactly. Both Aled and Kimmy don't have any sort of dashes. All they really have is Flash in terms of displacement, so at the very least you're going to get maybe either 2 flashes out of ganking with a good, with a well-placed Glacial Prism, or you're going to pull out with, or actually a level 4 gank comes out right now.
And here it comes, the exhaust thrown onto Allo, the death sentence goes wide, but they do force the flash. There are so many spears in there, the flash comes out from Katha, and they pick up first blood. Mumu dropping low, but he's going to be just fine and get out of there.
Yeah, unfortunately, Alad blew a flash, and he still fell down, so it really will be up to Kaffa to start camping bot lane, because it's a Jinx without a flash. There's not really too much that he can escape from if he pushes out.
Yeah, and I feel like that's going to be the big target for Kaffa right now. I mean, like I said, it's going to be so strong to gank him early on. However, as I'm saying that, he's paying a little bit of attention to this mid lane, does connect the charge, but only getting a little bit of damage on. But that's going to give Liberty a whole lot of breathing room down on that lane.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, Robo-Santa taking quite a bit of damage. Normally, I would say that Na can just, you know, hop out, hop over a minion and to safety, but with the movement speed of Nectarine right now, he's just managing to catch up and give him a bit of a body slam, bit of trade.
Yeah, and at the same time, you know, he's gone through all the charges of his Crystalline Flask, he's gone through 4 potions, so while it may look a little bit even in terms of the health bars, Robo-Santa's put out so much harass to get through all of those potions. Now, he's got Kaffa nearby to back him up, and this may be the case as he goes in. Cute Nectarine did hit level 6, and throughout the Onslaught of Shadows, Robo-Santa does go down in the end. And can Kaffa pick up the kill? Unfortunately, he can't, even against the Hecarim that has run out of mana.
Yeah, that was well read by Nectarine, because I'm not too certain whether Nectarine would have known that Kaffa was up there along with Robo-Santa, but he definitely did know that even though Na hit level 6, he was nowhere near enough on his Na bar to actually transform into Mega Na and use it. So he just went in straight away, he went in super hard, and even though there were 2 people there were no ultimates, so he managed to pick up a kill and exit out to safety.
Yeah, so a little bit of attention showing up in the top lane and not really to get anything out of it. In fact, Cute Nectarine picking up a kill. Now we can see Kaffa, he's moving into the enemy jungle. He's out of mana, so he's not really going to find anything there. And, you know, the positioning looks like he could gank the mid lane, but once again, out of mana. He's not going to find anything. He's trying to harass Chenny G, but once again, you know, Smite steals the dog, but he's a bit trapped here. And so here comes I Am Decimate. Does get out of the decimating smash though, and I think he may be just fine. There's a bit of consistent damage coming from I Am Decimate, but once again, he's going to be just fine. But as I say that, Cute Nectarine coming in, but without an ultimate, no kill potential.
Yeah, that was a little bit too risky. I'm not too certain what Kaffa was going for in the enemy jungle, but because he managed to smite the wolf, what that means is that a little bit of a trade going on in bot lane. I don't think Alad will fall here. Surely not.
No, it looks like the flash comes out from Bark. One more auto attack, and that is going to be a flay. They pick up the kill. They want more though. They're going for Kimmy as well, who's forced to flash underneath his turret. Has enough survivability. Gets knocked up by the Fate's Call, and he's dropping lower and lower, and the tower's not going to keep him alive. 2 kills picked up for the VGN bot lane.
Wow, Chenny comes in a little bit too late without an ultimate, so there's not really any cleanup here. Just have to talk about that little fight in the bot lane just then, as a hook comes out, and also the box.
Chenny's forced to flash underneath his turret. He saw his ultimate to get out, but he's going back in. What's going on here? He's got his passive in case he does die, and he does pick up a kill onto Bark. Moo though should have enough mobility to get out to safety, so a 1-for-1 trade. Interesting brave play.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a minion block there, or else he would have only got 1 or 2 autos off onto Mumu. Yeah, that was quite strange, but I just want to talk about that dive just then from Mumu and Bark, because what happened was that Bark was dropping quite low from the turret, and instead Mumu reset the turret aggro by using Fate's Call. So that was really well played, and they managed to live through that little skirmish.
Speaking of skirmishes, we've still got some more going on in the top lane. Cute Nectarine still keeping up the panda, buying a lot of potions, but he's gone in with the Onslaught of Shadows. Doesn't get the fear backwards though, so Robo-Santa is going to survive, but only barely underneath his turret.
Wow. Meanwhile in mid lane, Vidi just using his ultimate, trying to clear the wave. Yep, pretty standard.
Kaffa's actually
being
pretty rude going into the enemy jungle so much, stealing. I thought it was going to be Chenny G doing the invading, however, Kaffa's really on top of things here, knows when he can go in, however he's still in a bit of trouble here as Kimmy and Alad have caught up, but Parkbuck's here to bail him out. Nectarine has disconnected, but the shockwave comes in and catches Parkbuck and Kaffa, so they're taking really low. Kaffa eventually does go down. Fate's Call is going to be available to actually get him out to safety. Robo-Santa has teleported down, but it's still a 3v3. And the game, oh god, the pause. Okay, but what this does, This gives us a bit of a moment to find out what's going on. Robo Santa's about to get knocked up, and there's no question about that. He's still ages away from transforming into Mega now, so that ultimate's not going to be available. Fate's Call's also down. Bark's being forced completely out. This is a fight completely in favor of Monash.
Yeah, but Bark is quite close to Decimate, so it really will be on Decimate to pick him up. Decimate's a little bit out of mana, but in the main fight right here, we got quite a few spears in everybody from Mumu. I'm not too certain which way Mumu is dashing in this frame, but if it's forward, then surely she's going to get knocked up as well.
Well, we're about to find out as he doesn't actually get knocked up. Robo Santa's gone incredibly deep, but in that mini-nut form, he's not very tanky at all. Mumu is going to be the next target. The Lantern is available and does ride it out to safety. Liberty comes in and picks up Chenny G. The passive is activated. In fact, he gets a double kill onto Alad as well. Bark in a lot of trouble, though, going the wrong way to safety. Is fairly tanky, though, but does get knocked out by the Tornado, and that should be the end for him. Kimmy and Decimate are both out of mana, but one more auto attack does pick it up, and Liberty can't save his friend.
Yep, the Clockwork wind up bringing all of the damages down and taking a kill onto Bark. Liberty's trying to do something on the turret. I don't think he will. That was just a bit of a chaotic fight, and just overall, I think Liberty reached it a bit too late, so he didn't have too much of an impact. He did manage to pick up a kill, and he's trying to do something now in bot lane, but mostly, I think Kenny G did really well with that axe in that fight, because he zoned out a lot of the entrance to that.
Okay, so this is interesting right now. Liberty's just seen that 2 members of Monash have just recalled, so as I'm predicting right now, the pings have gone out for the Dragon. They know they've got the numbers advantage, so it should be no problem for them to take it. Teleport's available for Cute Nectarine, but Monash will surely cut their losses here and try and look for something else instead of contesting the Dragon.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's really down in bot side. Kenny G's nowhere close. This is just going to be a first Dragon over to VGN.
And not to mention, Link, if you've got a Callista as well, that's like an extra smite on the Dragon as well. When you get the opportunity to load it up with spears, it just means that there was, twice as much reason to not try and contest that Dragon. Monash, unfortunately, weren't able to actually get anything out of that. They weren't able to rotate around to, say, mid lane, or even the bot lane tower's already down, but they weren't able to find anything else there. And VGN have moved in very smartly. They've got, once again, the numbers advantage, and they're looking to knock down the bottom lane turret.
Yeah, Monash have to play really safe if they want to pick up any dragons this game, because Mumu's already got a BF sword from here. From here on in, he's just going to get more and more stacks, and those stacks are going to do more and more damage as Kaffa is being caught out here. And he actually goes down.
Oh, whoops, sorry, my mic was muted. Whoops, my bad. But yeah, we saw the shockwave come out and actually take down Kaffa. I feel like that was a disconnected Hecarim in the top lane that Robo Santa was able to take advantage of. Did manage to get the kill. So, a little bit unfortunate for Monash there. However, Kaffa, he's being really, really risky here, being really greedy. Going into the enemy jungle, that was maybe the 3rd or 4th time we've seen it this game. He's been punished the last time when he did steal the red, but ended up causing a team fight that his team really severely lost on. And just then, caught in the jungle again, taken out for an easy kill. So, it's Kaffa really needs to start chilling out on invading the enemy jungle.
You're absolutely right, because right now it's not too much of an impact, but later on with the death timers are larger and larger, what that means is that that's the way that Monash is really going to get dragons, because on the side of VGN, what they have is they have superior...
Oh, hang on, Bark's been thrown into Alad and he catches him up with the death sentence and gets rendered to pieces. However, now they're in a little bit of trouble. The box has gone out, but Chenny G's got a lot of damage to pump out. Hits the decimating smash. Bark may have to disengage to get out, but Iron Decimates, he's coming down to pick up a kill. Mumu could be in a bit of trouble. Flash slow coming out from Kimmy here. Mumu still doesn't have the mobility, but he does have the thresh to get to safety. However, the tower's not there, but Monash, they're going to back off.
They're going to back off, and that's going to be what looked like a very easy kill, but in reality was a really hard fight to get out of the jungle alive. So, very well played to them. As I was saying before, yeah, it really will be up to Kaffa Or, as we see a little bit of a skirmish going on in the top lane, surely Robosanta will just be able to hop over this wall, not too much of a problem. It really will fall on Kaffa to cool his jets, like you said, not really invade too much because he got caught out before. Doesn't really matter now because of the short death timers, but when it really does matter, that's when Monash can get dragons, when the enemy jungler is down, because on the side of VGN, they have a lot of dragon control. They have vision, not to mention the fact that they have a Kalista who has a BF sword. That's just going to stack up so much as Cute Nectarine decides to go in on
shadows
top
in the top lane, and I guess there's not much else to be said as Cute Nectarine picks up an easy kill.
Yeah, that was a one-on-one kill, no jungle pressure at all. So, yeah, very well picked up to Nectarine. That's going to really get him ahead, really get him his Triforce, which he needs, so then he could start building tank. Just well played to him. But with that Kalista, pretty much every single dragon is going to go over to them unless it's an uneven fight because of the Ren stacks.
Well, I mean, of course, the Ren stacks are going to be there, but you have to be in range to actually auto-attack the dragon, and that could be fairly dangerous for a Kalista. But right now, we're seeing Monash rotating around to this middle lane, as once again, Kaffa, he's in the enemy jungle, so completely out of position to help out his team here. He's on his way, has put down a lot of vision, so they do get that as an advantage. And Monash, they're not quite able to get the turret. And I said this in Champions League, Ziggs is going to delay the game. He's going to stop any turrets being taken by Monash just with his wave clear.
And that's going to be really deadly because with that combo of usually always being able to take Dragon, a stalled out game with maybe Dragon 5 and Baron, that's just going to be so tough to fight against.
And that could be the win condition that VGN are actually looking for. Just play safely, make sure there's a slight lead, you're not too far behind, keep things at least even, but keep ahead in the Dragons. Because they've got that secure, they've got that mid-game team fight that comes from the Glacial Prison, as well as the Ziggs ultimates too. They have the power to secure the Dragons, so all they've got to do is sit back, make sure they get the Dragons, wave clear any kind of siege potential coming out from Monash, and like you said, they can take it to Dragon 5, pick up the Baron, and then win from there with that win condition.
Yeah, absolutely, and they got such a large amount of wiggle room here, because for a team comp like this, you'd imagine them to be a little bit behind, but instead they're more than 2k ahead in gold, they've got one more turret than the enemy, they've got a lot of wiggle room to play with, as well as all of this late game Dragon and Baron win condition type scenario.
Sorry, if you have a look at the item builds here, you can see that Robosanta, he's picking up that Randuin Zone a bit. Importantly, he's picked up a Phage, and you can make a pretty educated guess that that's not going to be a Triforce, that's actually going to be the updated Black Cleaver. So he'll be able to jump into team fights, get a little bit of AoE damage down, especially with his ultimate, but importantly that's going to add stacks to the entire team. And I imagine later on, Mumu, he's going to have his Runan's Hurricane, and it's going to be a lot of AoE damage that comes out from him, and with the armor shred on most of the team, then it's going to amplify that damage a whole lot more, so it's going to add to their team fights. But we may see a fight at the top very, very shortly.
Yeah, Nectarine has to do a little bit of work to keep Robosanta off his turret with nobody really topside. Oh, everybody's deciding to collapse now. Surely that turret should be able to stay up now.
There's only a few hits away, but Allard dropping incredibly low, forced the flash. Flash comes out from Mumu, he does throw out the Ren, one more auto attack, picks up the kill, and this is bottom lane dominance here by VGN.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Aled, he's actually 5 deaths down, so he's just trying to farm up, he's just trying to recover. Meanwhile, on Mumu, we see the BT and also the second level boots completed. For Kalista, her dash range scales off boots rank, so she's just dashing all over the place. There wasn't really any counterplay. But
on the middle lane, forced the flash by I Am Decimate, and Liberty picks up a nice kill after flashing himself. Once again, the threat in the bottom lane is still continuing. Mumu is able to wave clear fairly well and basically stay out of trouble. He knows even if G goes in with the engage, if they can't kill him from there, he's got the mobility to get out.
Yeah, absolutely. But
oh, hang on, they go in with the Glacial Prison. Mumu, once again, he's jumping all around. They haven't taken him out, but Exhaust comes out. They catch him with a few AoE abilities, and despite all the Ren stacks, and then no, he rides the Lantern out to safety. And Monash are going to be incredibly frustrated from that, and they even pick up a kill on Zakimi.
Wow, that lifesteal coming in huge for Muru here, but the fight's not over.
And Liberty's in a bit of trouble, but he's got his buddies to back him up, and Cute Nectarine's not going to find the kill, but he will find a way to safety as he throws out the Onslaught of Shadows over the wall.
Yeah, not too sure what Cute Nectarine was hoping to do there. He hasn't got a Triforce completed. He can't really do anything that's not a 1v1, so it was quite strange because he just died to the 3 people. But this is going to be a fairly uncontested second dragon over to VGN right now.
And you can see things are starting to swing a lot more in favor of VGN now. They've got dominance all across the map. A CS lead on every single laner, 2 dragons ahead, 4 towers ahead, and it's all reflected in the 6,000 gold lead they've got right now. Things are looking really great for them, and it's the only way that Monash can really come back from this is if they get a really good wombo combo. Hecarim gets right into the enemy team. But importantly, that wombo combo needs to secure both Liberty and Mumu, and that's not going to be an easy feat.
No, it definitely isn't, because they're just going to stand so far back. With Mumu, what really needs to happen in fights is that, actually, Robo-Sander being caught out here.
And in fact, he actually goes back in to get the Nara into the wall. Mega Inferno Bomb comes out and drops Monash incredibly low. And Robo-Sander's going to be just fine. Kenny has to back out of here. And once again, it's Monash on the retreat.
Ooh, hook narrowly missing, and unless any bombs hit, this should just be a disengage with Kimmy falling down. Yep, that's exactly what it's going to be. So if we take a look at items being completed right now, VGN are probably saying in their group chat, look, we really got to fight right now because Callista got the Runans, Ziggs got the Rabadons. This is so much damage coming out, not to mention that Na has a Randuin's for that tank, but this is going to look like an early Baron, and there are just no wards nearby.
And this is really risky. 30 seconds after Baron's actually spawned, they may catch Cute Nectarine here, but he's got the mobility to get out. That may be all Monash needs to actually delay the Baron. Actually, he goes in with the Onslaught of Shadows. Kappa dropped low, forced to flash out. Cute Nectarine does eventually drop down. Kimmy trying to reset the fight. Kenny G has arrived. But can he take down Mumu? Liberty's joined the party to double kill over to Mumu. And Kenny G, he's done about all he can in this team fight, and that's not going to be enough. Iron Decimate has arrived too. Does have the shockwave available, but it's not really going to find much. Actually, he does pick up a kill onto Bark, but that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, and that is not what you need when you're Monash right now.
No, absolutely not. Mid laner for support, I don't really think that's worth. Kafka is a little bit too low right now. I'm not too sure why he's dancing around. I don't think that they can really tank out the Baron this early on, unless maybe Mumu or Robo-Sander decide to take a little bit of damage, which is exactly what they plan to do. The Kappa is dropping really low. Maybe you should consider the AoE damage that Baron does. Stay a little bit out of the pit. You will need your smite, or smite it early for that health.
I mean, he gets the health back, and what a lot of people don't know is actually if you stand behind Baron, you take a lot more damage. Luckily for Kappa, Baron was already low by that point, so he wasn't going to be the victim of that. However, now VGN have picked up the Baron. They're getting to the stage of the game a lot earlier than we really thought would happen. We thought they were going to play things nice and safely and evenly, but now they're 10,000 gold ahead, and they've picked up Baron. They've got 2 dragons advantage. They're really sitting behind the driver's wheel right now.
Yeah, exactly. Especially coming into this mid game when items are being finished. Aled on Jinx finishing off her Infinity Edge, and I am Decimate on Orianna finishing off her Zhonya's Hourglass. It really is important to start getting at least the first dragon, because the 6% AD and AP, that's going to come up huge when you have a lot of core items being built. But because they don't, there are actually a lot of stats behind.
I think the biggest story to tell right now, though, is if you compare the items for Aled on Jinx to Mumu on Callista, and he's got a full item and a half advantage on Jinx right now, and that's just ridiculous when it's on a champion like Callista, who we've been saying all game is so hard to catch, and so utterly crucial for the team comp right now. Kenny G though dropped to half, and that's the tankiest member on the team of Monash right now. He does have his passive activated as he does die. Kimmy just gets completely destroyed, and they're trying to turn things around onto I Am Decimate. They haven't caught him out. He does get over the wall with a flash, but straight into Bark and Mumu, who's just ripping everyone to shreds. Jinx goes down, Oriana's about to go down, double kill over to Mumu, and they're looking to continue it with Cute Nectarine, and this could be where VGN just win the game.
If they don't win the game right now, they can very certainly take an in-game mark, but actually tanking that turret for a little bit longer than he anticipated. This is going to be an in-hit. There are 15 seconds on Aled, who's the closest member on reviving, but there are 2 members up. I'm not too certain that that VGN can win the game per se right now. Maybe take a turret or 2.
I don't know, have a look at the damage that they're doing to that turret. It just gets ripped apart. Kimmy's going to be next on the list as the charge connects from Kappa. This next turret is definitely on the target sites, and Aled is just getting ripped apart in the fountain. However, Mumu does get taken down. This could be the chance, I guess, for Monash to stay alive, and they are taking everyone down. Their Nexus has survived, so never surrender, guys. They're trying to stay alive, but Robo Santa throws out the Nag, catches stun on nobody actually, and Cute Nectarine still trying to put up the damage, but Robo Santa is so tanky, but only for a few more seconds as he does transform back into Little Nag. Liberty flashes in for the kill, and Chenny G is going to be next. I have Decimate, one more bomb, picks up Liberty, the triple kill.
Wow. So, I think that this could potentially be game right now. Robo Sender decided recall, yet Janna does a little bit of damage and Aled is up, but that was just absolutely insane. I think Mumu kind of had a little bit of hubris there, trying to kill Aled on the fountain, and that's what really took him apart. If he maybe just decided to hang back with his team, they could have just won there.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely was the case, but if you're in the shoes of VGN right now, I don't think you're too worried about losing the game right now. And especially considering the fact that both of these teams, they're already 2-0, and they know if they keep up their current record, they're likely to move into the next stage, so maybe not taking the game as seriously as possible, but it's kind of hard when you're 14,000 gold ahead and almost guaranteed a victory right now to not try and have a little bit of fun. But in that case, you know, you're absolutely right, they could have won the game right there, so if a miracle happens and Monash do turn around and win this, they're going to be kicking themselves. But as I say that, Chenny G gets nailed right into the wall, and his passive may activate. That's going to be one dead Scion, one dead of the dead Scion effect.
Yeah, not to mention just the fact that Nag can stun you up. It's not going to be...
Oh, hang on, one more bouncing bomb, picks up Kimmy for another kill. A third dragon off in the sidelines gets taken out. More and more turrets are getting ripped apart, and this is surely going to be where VGN take out a win.
Yeah, and if they look, they're definitely going for the safe route right now, taking out another inhib just before they go for the Nexus to make sure. Cute Nectarine coming in and actually having to burn Onslaught of Shadows just to get out, but Bug following.
Yeah, and he's trapped within the box there as Cute Nectarine does get taken out. Mumu just at full health, dancing around everyone, trying to take out people in the fountain. Made that mistake before, but doesn't look like it's going to matter again as he stays alive, manages to avoid the laser. Chenny G gets taken out. This is where Monash sits in the fountain, or at least Kimmy sits in the fountain as they watch their Nexus get destroyed and VGN pick up their third win in the group stages.
Wow. That mid-game was so close, but after that, VGN just managed to solidify their lead so hard.
I feel like that was just small advantages all across the map. You know, the bot lane was winning, the mid lane was winning, top lane